citizens of YouTube land.
Hey.
It's your president and your VP. And we're back with episode 3 of
The Month of Halloween Horror.
This time it's Paranormal Activity, which premiered.
So there's 3 different premieres for Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
This is freaking great, by the way, just telling you. It was released on a festival on October 14th, 2007 at the Screamfest Festival, but didn't get a nationwide release until October 16th, 2009. Before that, it had a limited U.S. release on September 25th, 2009. So, yeah.
The reason for that being is that it was originally made for a budget of $15,000, and then Paramount bought the distribution rights and publishing rights to it, and they injected another $200,000 in it and shot a different ending. And what was our box office for this?
$193.4 million.
How?
Because let me explain something to you known as the domino theory for films. The domino theory is a theory in filmmaking in which it's like if you present something, let's take Blair Witch Project for an example, because this movie happened because of the Blair Witch Project. So let's take Blair Witch Project for an example. It basically said that this movie is based off of true events, blah, blah, blah. And, everybody, so people went to saw that, seen it, thought it was the scariest thing of all time, went back, told their friends to tell them to go see it because they thought it was scary. So they did, they saw it, and then they thought it was scary. Then they went back to tell their friends to go see it, their other friends to go see it, and so on and so forth. And so that's when you get a box office thing, a box office of $193.4 million. It's all a domino effect that gets laid down because of...
So, of note, the director was also the producer and the writer and the editor.
I should explain writer in quotations.
Right.
Very big quotations for writer.
Yeah.
Because this film uses a technique known as retroscripting, which was also used in the Blair Witch Project. So basically he gave the cast a brief outline of the story, and told them to, I was gonna put it bluntly, but make crap up as they go.
Yeah.
But instead I was gonna use the other word.
Right. Well, okay, guys. So
I should also mention, this probably doesn't come as a surprise, but this movie was also, one of the producers of this movie is Jason Blum, who you may know as the president and CEO of Blumhouse, who was the production company who made Paranormal Activity. This was one of their very first films that they ever did for the start of Blumhouse Pictures.
Okay, so the movie begins with a crawl text of basically the San Diego PD and
so Paramount Pictures,
families of the two people on the movie, that they, the heartfelt sympathies, blah blah blah, because they're setting this scenario up that this is based on true incidents. And so so the movie stars these two people who are very unlikable right away. The male more so than the female, because the man, he spends
Micah is his name.
Mika. He spends 90% of the movie with just narrating everything and holding a camera and following his clearly traumatized girlfriend around.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. I would also like to mention that, the director, he said he wanted to make the story more character driven instead of just action and gore like most horror movies. There's a good way to do that, and there's a bad way to do that. Paranormal Activity did it the bad way, but in our last review, Rosemary's Baby did it the good way.
Yeah, so they are videotaping their daily mundane lives and what they're doing, and they're discussing basically what has happened to her, why she is the way she is,
Turns
and
out this girl has an attachment, which in the paranormal world means she has she has someone or something attached to her.
so they contact a psychic who lays out the different rules for not for interacting with this entity. First and foremost, being don't provoke it, don't antagonize it. Secondly, don't try to communicate with it via a Ouija board. And then there's a third rule, and I kind of forgot what it
I
was
forgot what it was as well.
because the movie it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah,
But
because
he,
Mika literally breaks every single rule in this movie.
yes.
One, he antagonizes it by because in the film the demon literally moves a door. He like closes the door and then opens the door, and then
Hmm.
he's like, "Oh, so this is part of your grand master plan, just moving the door." And yeah, and then
So,
later on he says that it was worthless, that you demons are worthless. I'm like, you're just pissing it off even more. Like,
and then he goes out and buys a Ouija board and he tries to communicate with it. And his girlfriend is telling him, hey, slow down, slow your roll. You
she's
don't want to be messing with this thing.
she's rightfully pissed because he promised her that he would not buy a
And they
Ouija
have
board.
this fight, and the Ouija board just spontaneously catches fire.
Yeah, because of the demon. Because there's some creepy like wind that comes through in the room, and then the planchette starts like,
So
yeah.
they contact the psychic again because they can't get a hold of a demonologist. And the psychic comes back. And he immediately is like, nah, brah, peace out. I'm done with this. I can't handle this.
Yep.
I can't help you. I'm just going to get on out of here.
This is
And he
not my
does.
this is not my expertise because the demon literally he's like I could tell that this demon is very angry with my presence being here. I can't help you because this is not my expertise. I'm sorry. I'm getting out of here. They're like, "No, wait, please stay. Anything. No."
It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. And
And
also so they're laying in bed one night, and then the demon literally is like he I don't know what's happening, but it's like you see this wind moving across the blanket, and the demon literally lifts up a blanket and it exposes her foot, and it's like touching it and everything because you see her squiggling, and I'm like, oh, so the demon has a foot fetish now. Okay, that's cool now.
yeah, yeah, that does happen. And so then a few minutes later, the demon drags the lady out of bed. And
Yeah,
so we're nearing the end. I know we're kind of skipping through this, but guys,
this
seriously,
this movie is so
honestly,
boring.
there's lots of points where it's just them sitting and talking, and then a small little paranormal incident happens.
Off screen.
Rinse, wash, repeat. Okay, that's the majority of the movie. So she gets dragged out of bed, and then there's a scream, and Mika runs downstairs to see what
No, so
happens.
actually, she gets dragged out of bed, and Mika literally feels her getting dragged out of bed, runs to her, and like rescues her, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna get out of this house and everything,"
But the
and
girlfriend's like, no, wait, let's stay.
and then he's like, "You really want to stay after what just happened?" She's like, "I promise, everything's gonna be fine." And then he's like, oh, "Whatever," and he walks off, and she's like, and this is where I felt like the film should have ended, but it doesn't. But I feel like this is where the film should have ended because then she says in a creepy demonic tone, "Everything's gonna be fine now," and then goes to sleep and smiles, and
Yeah.
then it cuts to black. I was like, that was the perfect ending,
So then,
keeping it subtle and ambiguous,
like
like the movie's been
the
trying to do.
the next night, she gets out of bed, and she like stands there
And it stands there
and
staring at him,
staring at her
and
boyfriend
it's
for
like,
like 3 hours.
yeah,
When she had previously done this for an hour and then walked off, she does it for 3 hours, then walks downstairs. Then there's a scream that you hear off screen. Then Mika comes in downstairs and there's like a tussle and whatnot. And then she comes back upstairs because this is the version where we watched, guys.
Yeah,
She
so
comes back upstairs, looks at the camera, has a knife in her hand,
because she killed
and
Mika.
makes sure that she also doesn't live on this earth anymore.
Yeah, she slits her throat, guys, and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
So we watched the original alternate ending that wasn't shown in theaters because this is the ending that they originally had before Paramount stepped in and is like, actually, can we do this one instead? And we'll even give you the budget for it, $200,000.
So, I guess final rating for this one, guys. 1.5 out of 5. What say you?
Also 1.5 out of 5.
See,
I felt like it would have been actually like more than that if they stuck to the ending with her just saying everything's gonna be fine, cut to black, but they didn't. But
yeah, my reasoning for giving it actually as high as it was because I was sitting through it, and as I said, guys, the majority of it is them just sitting and talking, and then something off screen
the only
happens,
good thing that
and
happened
then
in
there's
this
more sitting
movie,
and talking.
the only good thing that happened to this movie is when the psychic literally stepped into the house, said, "Nope, I'm out of here," and stepped out of the house.
And that's my reason for giving it 1.5 because it was going to be a 1.
So the psychic do that, bumped it up a half.
Yeah, it did. Because I legit laughed out loud for like 2 minutes straight when he was doing it. Because I was like, yeah, okay, I can understand it. But okay, so if you have seen Paranormal Activity and you feel that it is the best supernatural horror film of all time, can't believe I even said that. Then clearly you've never seen one that's coming up in the near future.
Clearly you've never seen these 3 films. Clearly you've never seen The Omen, The Amityville Horror, The Exorcist.
But hey, just remember, we're just two idiots with a digital camera.
Our opinions do not matter, except they actually do, because we have a YouTube show, except they actually don't.
So, guys, having said all that, stay tuned where next time it's going to be Give Them the Hint.
Right there.
So now you'll know.
If you recognize what this is, good for you for recognizing it. Put it in the comments below if you recognize that picture of what we're going to be doing next.
All right, guys. And having said all that, there's only one thing left to say.
Wait, I completely forgot about something. This is part of the... I completely forgot, but this was supposed to be in the initial review. So, real quick, just quick note. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but quick note. There's this website that they're on in the movie. I completely forgot about this, but there's this website that they're on in the movie, and he's like reading her, and Mika is reading Katie the story about this woman who had a similar experience to her. They show a picture of her, okay? They show a picture of her that is like all filtered and crap, and I'm like, is that Reagan from The Exorcist with a filter over it? And Dad's like, probably. And then the very next moment, they're showing footage of this exorcism, and literally, it's like the film of The Exorcist, but with a grainy filter over it. Like, it's the best thing ever. Like, I think I have to bump my rating up to 2 stars now just for the fact that it made me laugh during that moment.
All right, guys. But having said all that, there's only one thing left to say, and that is
peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.